And we're back with our yellow Aventurine, which has been 1 week in 6090 coarse carbide grit with no ceramic media. It was a new barrel for last week, and it is really moving along. We've got a couple of pieces here of fractured pieces of chipping, but ooh, it's really interesting. Beautiful yellow color. Really pretty. It's going to need another week, obviously, in our 6090. Yeah, pretty happy with it. Add some ceramic media to it. There's another chip. Because we don't want it banging around too much now that a lot of the shaping is starting to happen. And we want to keep as much mass as we can. So this lovely yellow Aventurine is going to go another week. Wow. Yeah, very little chipping. Seeing just hardly any, no damage really. The barrel's a little over full. We might not add ceramic media this week. Let's see what we've got here. So we're at our 2/3. We want to leave room for rotation and moving around, stone moving around. We might just put the tiniest bit of ceramic media in here. And we'll see it next week. And we're back with Yellow Aventurine, which has been 2 weeks in our 6090 coarse silicone carbide grit, and it is looking amazing. There's still some shaping that needs to happen, but we are so pleased with the way that it is turning out. There is very little, if any, chipping in this batch. But as you can see, it needs a lot more shaping. Beautiful, yummy yellow. Nice buttery yellow. Really pretty. We're retaining a lot of the mass, which is good. So we'll have some nice sizes, hopefully, when we finish. We need to go through the ceramic media and make sure that there's no surprises in there. Yeah. Beautiful yellow Aventurine. Not seeing so far any real problems, like any real grit catchers or pieces that would shear off and cause an issue. Oops. It's an interesting shape. I hope that stays. Hope that doesn't get knocked off. Yeah, Yellow Adventurine's looking really good. Not bad for 2 weeks in 60-90. Okay, that's looking really super good. And the barrel is still fairly full. You know, it's still at 2/3. Looks like chunks of pineapple, doesn't it? We're just going to do a quick run through of the ceramic media, which looks amazing. I don't see any problems. Okay, let's add that back to the barrel. Give it a little shake. Seeing it all slides down into the little crevices. Yeah. Okay. We will, and now this is a 3-pound barrel, so we will add 3 tablespoons of silicone carbide to this, of the 60-90, and we will put in enough water to just reach below the first row of stones, because we don't want too much water in here, because then it'll just kind of be a mess. So we will put this yummy stuff on for another week, and we'll see where we're at. And we're back with our Yellow Aventurine, which has spent the last 3 weeks in 60-90 silicone carbide coarse grit, and it's looking lovely. The ceramic media was still fine. We did end up with a chip, so we're going to have to take that out. But I think these can move to 120. I want to take a really good look and make sure. You got to find where that chip came from. Make sure it didn't leave a sharp edge. I think that's got a bit of a rough spot that could stay in 120. Or we stay in 60-90. We really want to give these a good feel. Anything rough that could benefit from longer in 60-90. This beautiful yellow color. Real buttery. Real pretty. It's an interesting shape to that. Let's get a close up on these here. That's inside the stone. It is not on the surface. Oh, that's still rough. Really pretty. I'm just in love with this yellow Aventurine. Interesting cleavage. There's just some little spots that could be smoothed a little bit more. Most of it's ready for a wash cycle and to move to 120. Some of it still has just those odd pieces. There's a broken piece of media. We'll get rid of that. I think that could be smoothed out. Yeah, it's about half, well, almost half and half. Still haven't found, oh, it's another. Another chip. Still haven't found where they came from, though. I'd feel a lot better if I could find where they came. Oh, now I can feel better. This whole corner here had sheared off, and that was probably this larger one here. I think that's probably came off. Give it a tiny bit more time just to smooth out. Feels very smooth. I'm not feeling any grainy, rough texture to the surface. I'd like that to run just a little bit longer. Alright, I don't know where that other little piece came from. I'm not finding anything obvious. Okay. This needs more 60-90. And this can get a wash cycle and move to 120. So, we're back to splitting batches again. And we are back with our yellow Aventurine, which has been running in our 120, 220 silicone carbide grit. Kind of looks like chunks of pineapple in there, doesn't it? Oh. That is slurry. I thought I had all this washed off. There. Huh. We have to make sure there's no more grit, no more slurry left on these stones. We're going to go through all of the ceramic media off camera and look for breakage. But from a quick look, looks pretty good. But you don't want to chance it. Wow, this is some yellow. This is some beautiful, beautiful yellow. This still feels really rough. Right along the cleavage line there. This one feels lovely. Media. So this has been running for a while. Let's see, it ran 60-90 for 3 weeks. And then it spent 1 week in 120. Seems to be moving along really nicely. It's feeling nice and smooth. I'm not seeing any chips. Not seeing anything that looks like it's going to break off yet. Wow, that's a nice dark yellow. Yellow Aventurine. We've run purple. And we've run peach, we've run blue. I think it like comes in almost every color of the rainbow. And I have some green, more purple, and some pink. And I have a yellow orange also, still waiting to be run. This piece is really cool. I like the shape of it. Hope that tip never breaks off. Alright, it's ready to move forward. Oh my gosh, I really thought it would need another week. But after we go through the ceramic media and remove any damage, which I really don't see a lot, or any, it'll go through a wash cycle. And then it will move forward to 500. We're going to have a lot in 500 next week. Cool. All right, we are going to move forward to our next barrel. And I think everything left is going to be in our coarse grit, which is the 60-90. Okay, we'll be right back. Okay, this next barrel is yellow jasper, or excuse me, yellow aventurine. And it has been running in for, this is a split batch. So last week, half of it was ready to move to 120, and this needed more work. So I ran it again by itself. And now we're going to see if it's ready to move to 120. Because the other Aventurine is now in a wash cycle and going to go to 500. So this is going to run as a split batch all the way to the end. And this is in our 1.5 pound barrel. It's our little tiny one. So, see, this is kind of, I'm afraid that's going to chip off. That needs more work. That needs more 60-90. That's a really light yellow. That's really pretty. Alright, this barrel is ready to move to 120. 3 pieces need to stay in 60-90, and I'm putting them over here with the zebra that still needs more 60-90. They're all the same Mohs hardness. Well, no, they're not. 7, 6.5 to 7. I think it'll be alright. Alright, this little tiny barrel is going to get washed, and it's going to move forward to 120. Going to get a lot more ceramic media added to it. So what we're going to do is take this split and we are going to go wash, then 120. Okay, wash cycle for that baby. Be right back. And we're back with our yellow Aventurine. This is our batch that's in 500 aluminum oxide pre-polish. It's looking gorgeous. There was no chippage in the barrel. The ceramic media looks beautiful. There was no leftover grit. So, oh, damn it. See, you gotta say it too quickly. And there's damage on that piece. These lovely little yellow chunks are feeling really good, but you don't want to trust the naked eye. You want to trust the feel of the stone and make sure that it's as smooth as you want it to be before moving forward. And I think this is definitely ready for 1,000, other than that one piece we found that had damage on it. Now this is the cleavage lines or the fracture marks on the stone. And if left on its own, I think that like this part right here could chip off and cause damage. So I'm going to try to repair that on a flat lap before we let it move forward. So we're going to set that one aside. Those are some of the things that we're looking for. This was a superior batch of yellow Aventurine, I have to admit. It's just working very nicely. Not really seeing a lot of problems with this batch. We did split it because a few pieces needed more time in coarser grit. That little valley that we have there from that fracture line could cause damage. I don't know if that's going to move forward or if I'm going to work on it. When I say cause damage, we're talking about crazing, which is minute scratches on the surface that gives it a frosted look. Totally undesirable. Well, nothing catches. Oh, that's that little piece that I liked the shape of. Okay, this can go through a wash cycle and go to 1000. I think I'm going to let that one go. That looks pretty solid. This needs to be repaired. My goodness, we're getting enough to run a repair today. Okay. Yellow Aventurine in the 500 is ready for a wash cycle and then to move to 1000. So we will say wash and 1000. Okay, we'll put this aside. All right. See, we've got a couple more in 500. We'll be right back. And we're back with the rest of our yellow Aventurine that has been in medium silicone carbide grit 120-220. And let's just take a look at it here. Oh yeah, it's lovely. Absolutely ready to go to 500. Wow. Yep, it just needed that one little extra bit of time. And these pieces are perfect. This is a really small batch. This is, yeah, running in our 1.5 pound barrel. And this is going to move to 500. So we are going to, this is our split batch. So we're going to do a wash. And then this goes to 500. And the other goes to 1000. Okay. That's pretty darn simple. I love it when it goes quickly. All right, we'll be back with our next barrel. This has been in 1000 for 1 week. Let's see, this is what we were talking about with them being stuck in the barrel for over a year. It kind of stuck to the barrel. Let's see what we've got here. Let's pull all the media out as well. Okay. I don't like things like this. These white crush marks. But good grief, it feels like silk. You can't feel it. There is a chip that has to go back to probably 60-90. All the way back because we want to smooth out that chip, that scratch. We don't want to ruin everything else. And I think that's what all this bruising is from, is because when this, you know, beats against it, it's damaging. There's a lot. Almost every look at that. There's a bruise right there on the very tip. This whole barrel's going to have to go back because of that chip. Darn it. We were so close to moving to polish. Where is that chip? Might have just got ground to dust. I don't really see that chip off the top of off a quick inspection here. I don't see it. But that's definitely a broken off piece. It's definitely a chip. It has definitely damaged. Whoops, sorry. Bumped the camera. It has definitely damaged all these other stones. It feels so nice. I think just a really quick, maybe 2 days in 60-90 will remove a lot of the damage. And then we'll run it for a couple days in the 120, a couple days in 500. That's very disheartening to have to bust it back, but I'd rather do, I don't want an inferior product. I don't want those bruising marks when we can get them off. Yeah, that's just really, really sad. All right, our yellow Aventurine is on an adventure. And it's also in a 1.5 pound barrel, so it's, you know, in a small one. So we will, crap. Yeah, we're just going to have to take it back. And, again, it'll be a couple of days in 60/90, a couple of days in 120, a couple days back in 500. And then, if I hold this barrel and don't do anything, then when this is ready to go to 1,000, we can put it all together, which should probably be next week. Okay, we'll be back with our next barrel. All right, we're back with our yellow Aventurine, that a split batch, and it looks like it's been in 500 for 1 week, and it's going to move to 1,000. I'm pretty sure. But let's just make a quick pass here. Take a look at it. Oh, let's get it wet. It's easier to inspect when it's wet. Oh, look at that. Just really, really pretty pattern. Looks perfect. Feels really, really smooth. And then there's that. I'm not holding it back for that. Let's see. It's like little chunks of butter or pineapple. That black mark is where it was stuck in the container because it had sat for over a year. I don't know. I'm feeling little tiny imperfections. So maybe it will need 1 more week in 500. Rather be safe than push it forward and be sorry. Wow. This is absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, you can't feel that at all. Really, really beautiful. Again, this is the yellow Aventurine. It's 1 week at 500. I just want to give it 1 more week. I mean, it's sat for a year, or a little over a year. Let's give it a boost. This is in our little 1.5 pound barrel. And I think I've got a split batch. I do have a split batch. Ooh, yeah, that's that I can feel. I do not want to bust that back to medium coarse for that. 1 little mark. Wow, this is just really beautiful, good quality yellow Aventurine. I'm really surprised at the condition of these stones after sitting for so long. They're really much better shape than I thought they were going to be in. I thought they were going to have slurry that was going to be a nightmare to get off and whatever, so I must have rinsed them really well before I stopped. Okay, I'm going to give this 1 more week. And 500. I'm really considering perhaps, I'm being overly picky, and this could just go in a wash cycle and move to 1,000. I think that's what's going to happen. I'm going to wash these and move them to 1,000. Okay, we'll be back. Let's see what else. And we're back with our yellow Aventurine. that has been split because it was in 1000 and it had a lot of damage done to it, so we had to bust it back to 6090 for 1 week to kind of get rid of the damage that had happened. So let's take a look and make sure that this can be bumped back up to 500. I'm going to skip the 120 because these stones are feeling so good. I mean, they were bruised, and the 6090 did the repairs, so we're happy with that. See this, there's a chip here that I'm going to hold back that still needs more 6090. And this had, yeah, this one's not ready to come back out yet either. There's still a little bit of chippage that's happened in here. We were so close to being done. We had to split the original batch, and we took out everything that was damaged. We busted it back for 1 week in 6090. And now I think we can move this to 500. And after that week, I think it'll be able to catch back up to the stuff that's still sitting in 1000. Yeah. Looks like pineapple chunks to me. Absolutely beautiful. What was that I felt? Trust your fingers more than your eyesight. See these little fracture lines that catches, and in here, sometimes when you tumble it, it breaks out more and it can cause further damage. So there's just a couple pieces that we're going to hold back. Where this looks like a visual, it looks like a fracture line, it really isn't. It's completely smooth. You can't catch that with your thumb or with your nail. So that's just a visual. This is why we trust our fingers. Okay, let's see what else we've got here. Only a couple more. This is still pretty bruised. I'm only gonna hold this back because I've got other stuff I'm holding back. Otherwise I would have let it go. But if you're gonna run another one anyway, you might as well. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Just a couple more. Oh, no. Most of it's ready to go to 500. So all of this will get a wash cycle, and then it will go to 500, run for another week, and then we will see this next week. These have to be held back, and I'm going to look around and see if we have anything else in an Aventurine that is at the 60-90 stage, and we'll throw these in with that. And then that's the story for Yellow Aventurine for this week. And I'll go through the ceramic media, look for any broken pieces, make sure, anything that's damaged we'll get rid of, because, we don't want that to happen. This media stays at 60-90. So that's why I'm not putting it back in the barrel at this time, because I don't know if this barrel is going to stay 60-90 or if we're going to move it to the medium. All right, we will be right back. And we're back with our Yellow Aventurine that has been split because it was in 1000 and it had a lot of damage done to it, so we had to bust it back to 60-90 for 1 week to kind of get rid of the damage that had happened. So let's take a look and make sure that this can be bumped back up to 500. I'm going to skip the 120 because these stones are feeling so good. I mean, they were bruised, and the 6090 did the repairs, so we're happy with that. See this, there's a chip here that I'm going to hold back that still needs more 6090. And this had, yeah, this one's not ready to come back out yet either. There's still a little bit of chippage that's happened in here. We were so close to being done. We had to split the original batch, and we took out everything that was damaged. We busted it back for 1 week in 6090. And now I think we can move this to 500. And after that week, I think it'll be able to catch back up to the stuff that's still sitting in 1000. Looks like pineapple chunks to me. Absolutely beautiful. What was that I felt? Trust your fingers more than your eyesight. See these little fracture lines that catches. Here, sometimes when you tumble it, it breaks out more and it can cause further damage. So there's just a couple pieces that we're going to hold back. Where this looks like a visual, it looks like a fracture line, it really isn't. It's completely smooth. You can't catch that with your thumb or with your nail. So that's just a visual. This is why we trust our fingers. Okay, let's see what else we've got here. More. This is still pretty bruised. I'm only gonna hold this back because I've got other stuff I'm holding back, otherwise I would have let it go. But if you're gonna run another one anyway, you might as well. Okay, let's see what we've got here. No. Most of it's ready to go to 500. So all of this will get a wash cycle, and then it will go to 500, run for another week, and then we will see this next week. These have to be held back, and I'm going to look around and see if we have anything else in an Aventurine that is at the 6090 stage, and we'll throw these in with that. And then that's the story for Yellow Aventurine for this week. And I'll go through the ceramic media, look for any broken pieces, make sure, anything that's damaged we'll get rid of, because, we don't want that to happen. This media stays at 6090. So that's why I'm not putting it back in the barrel at this time, because I don't know if this barrel is going to stay 6090 or if we're going to move it to the medium. All right, we will be right back. And we're back with our Yellow Aventurine. It has been in 500 pre-polish aluminum oxide for 1 week. And it's looking lovely. It does look like there's a little bit of bruising on the edge here. I think it could use a little more cushioning in the barrel. And I'm hoping that this will come off in the 1000. It feels so silky smooth, it almost doesn't need to go to 1000. But we're trying to keep everything with the same practice. So, wow. Oh, this is amazing. It's just, it feels like glass. It's just so wonderful. It's just a couple of pieces that had the bruising. I'm not seeing it on all the pieces. It's those first two, really. No, and I spoke too soon. Yeah, it feels amazing. See this white here. That's bruising because I didn't have enough cushioning. I didn't have enough ceramic media in here. So I'm hoping that the 1000 will microfine that surface to remove that bruising. I'm not sure it will, to be honest. But I want to do an experiment and see if the 1000 will refine it. If it doesn't, I can either live with it or I can bust it down to like 120 for a couple of days. To get that out. See this? I didn't find any chips in the barrel, but it looks like a chip happened. Holding that stone back. Or it could have just been erosion. Opening up that fracture line. Oh, this is a super fast run. There's another piece with some bruising on it. Okay, this is ready to go for a wash cycle and go to 1000. Yay! We will see it next week. And we're back with our only barrel that is in 1000 aluminum oxide pre-polish. And this is our yellow Aventurine from the split batches we had been running forever. Let's dry it just a little bit. It's got a nice matte sheen, nice shine happening already, but it's only been in pre-polish, so we need to do some wash cycles. We need to send it to polish, and we're going to do the wet polish because this is a hard enough stone to handle it. These are feeling like glass. They're beautiful, just lovely. No chipping. All the bruising that well, see, I said that too soon. Or is that slurry? No, it was bruising. We had some bruising, so we had busted this back and sent it forward again. Most of the bruising's gone. I think it needs a little bit more cushioning when it goes into polish. But we had just a lot of bruising that had happened before. As you can see, as the stone dries, all of this here. Now, I was hoping that sending it back to 500 would be enough to get rid of that bruise line, but I'm afraid we would probably have to send it back to 120 to grind a layer of, to grind this off. And I really just don't want to. But if I don't, it's gonna polish. Whoop. Right, these things are so slip, I always hit the tripod. Alright, moment of truth. What are we gonna do here? As they're drying off, more and more of that bruising is showing. And I'm afraid if I just go ahead and polish these just to be done with them, that we're never going to be happy because of the bruising. I really don't want this to go back to 120. Because then would be like 3 weeks out before this was available to be polished. Because it has to go through all the other stages to get the surface ready. Oh, goodness. sometimes this happens. And I wasn't careful enough. I didn't have enough cushioning to prevent this from happening, and I did not bust this back far enough in the grit stages, excuse me, in the grit stages in order to fix the problem. So this is like a lesson learned. I do not want to send this to polish. I do not want to polish bruise marks. Excuse me. All of that's bruising. So I am going to send this back as a repair. The second, now that I've made up my mind that it's going back for repair, the second question is, do I put it in my barrels that are already running in those stages? And I'm going to say no. Because this is going to be a lesson learned, and because we are going to want to see, you know, how you repair them, I don't want them mixed in with a bunch of other stones so that we don't remember which one needed it and which one didn't. So we will continue this by itself in the small 1.5 pound barrel, and we're going to bust it back to 120 to fix the bruising. It just makes me sick, but that's what we're going to do. Okay, because it's going backwards, not forwards, we do not need to run a wash cycle, so I can just recharge the barrel for 120 right now and let it go. I am, however, going to switch out the ceramic media because I do like to keep my 500 media separate, my aluminum oxide separate from the silicone carbide. And then we have one barrel left to get through this week, and that's our polished barrel. Okay. Tough decision, tough lesson learned. Okay, be right back. And we're back with our yellow Aventurine that was almost ready for polish. It was sitting in 1000 pre-polish, but it was really bruised. So we put it back to 120 to repair the bruising, and it's been in 120 for 1 week. So what we want to do is take a really good look at these edges. So we're going to have to dry them off here because, as we recall, the edges were bruised. And then we will know if this worked and we can move it forward. Okay, now let's take a paper towel here and dry it really well. And then let's take a look at the edges. And let's move this camera in this light. So all that bruising that was along these edges appears to be repaired. Fingers crossed that all of it will look the same. A little bit of slight bruising still right here. This has been in our small 1.5 pound barrel. And we've kept it separate because we're trying to follow it all the way through. Still looks like there's bruising on there, and that looks really deep. I think it may go down several layers. And what we're looking for are the edges. Let's recall from last week. And I'm not really seeing bruising, just on that one piece. Oh, you can see how fast it's drying down here. Oh, that's like nails on a chalkboard. Well, I think we can take this back to 500. But I don't want to rush it just to bust it back again. We've already busted it back one time prior. We just didn't go far enough. I don't know. I'll let this air dry for just a moment or two, and then we'll come back and look at it again. Let's just give it a moment. Our yellow Aventurine, and we'll be right back. Okay, we gave it a moment to dry. At least they dried on one side. Sorry, stones. I'm really not seeing that super bruised edging that we saw last week. So I think it will be safe to move these back to 500. And the reason we're not skipping that stage is because the 120 has, even though the surface still feels really good, the 120 has crazed the surface, and the 500 is going to refinish that. Then we can, for the pre-polish, and then we put it in the 1000. And then it should be just superb to take a polish. Yeah, this one I'm not happy with, but that is so far down. We'd really have to take a lot of layers off to get rid of that, and I'm not willing to sacrifice the stone for that. I am going to put more cushioning in, because I'm wanting to baby it right now. So this is going to need several wash cycles to get rid of any of that silicone carbide grit that might still be around. And I'm going to wash this 120 ceramic media with it. And then I'm going to separate this 120 media out and switch it for 500 aluminum oxide media. But there's no reason this can't get washed. Nice little chip. Okay. Probably 4 wash cycles before this will be clean. And then we'll put it up to 500. Okay. That repair is going to hopefully work out. Okay, we'll be right back. And we're back with our yellow Aventurine This is our repair barrel for the bruising that had happened when it was in pre-polish 1000. It has spent 1 week in 500. It went all the way back to 120, 220 coarse silicone or medium silicone carbide for repairs, and then it went, so spent some time there, and then it went back to 500, and now it looks like it's getting ready to go to 1000. And we were looking, there's a tiny bit of bruising still right there. You know what? I think that's just the camera shine. Ooh, there's a nice shine on this stone. It's dry. But it's been busted back and forth a couple of times. So we're kind of being very gentle with it this time to hopefully get this stuff to polish eventually. Yeah, see, the edges is still bruised on this one. Set it aside. Let's see how many are still bruised. This one looks really good. Now at first you might think that's bruising, but it's really a pattern. Well, it seems like, we added a lot of cushioning this time. I think we're going to send it through some wash cycles and send it to 1000. Keep our fingers crossed. These edges are looking a lot better. Oof. Still looks like a little bit of bruising to me. I just don't like the way this looks. It's not slurry. When it dries a little, you start to see this bruising on the edges again. So either it re-bruised or I didn't get it all. There was bruising on the tip last time, and it's been repaired. It's not there at all now. Okay, so 3 pieces still had what I call bruising. This one's right here. I I have enough stone running in the other stages that I'm going to put this in with it. Am I? I'm going to have to. Okay. These are my little 1.5 pound barrel. It was our repair for bruising. And it ran 500 for a week, so now it's going to get some wash cycles and it's going to move on to 1000 again, and we'll see if it continues to have bruising. Geez, I don't, that's that whole tip. Alright, wash cycles, and we're going to move forward. That's our repair bruising barrel. And we're back with our yellow Aventurine. This is our bruising repair that we've been running, that we had to bust back all the way to 120. And move back and forth a couple of times before we're getting it to where we want it. And this has been running for 1 week in 1000. And let's take a look and see if we have any bruising. I'm going to take it out of here. I'm going to inspect the ceramic media, make sure that there's no chipping or whatnot, and then we'll take a good look at the stones dry to see if there's bruising. We'll be right back. Okay, we went through the ceramic media and there was no bruise or no chippage, so no, of the stone or the ceramic. So yay! You know, we're ahead of the game there. So we'll set all this stuff aside. Now, these are in the process of drying, so I'm just going to take a paper towel and dry the stone a little bit, and let's check these edges for bruising. Not seeing it on this stone. That's camera flash. This might be bruising right here. It's got some nice color. It's really deep. It's got a nice satin shine already, and that's from the aluminum oxide pre-polish 1000. Darn it. Can't feel it. My nail doesn't catch on it, but it is definitely bruising. I think we're okay to go to polish on most of these. But we are going to take a really good close look. It's just a couple of spots and you can't feel it. I mean, the edges and everything look really good. Oh, this one's pale. It's bruising right there. That's just fracturing. It's all under the surface. I think for the most part, this is ready to move on to polish. I think there are going to be a couple of little spots that we were unable to tumble out. Be a couple little spots of bruising. For the most part, we got it out. But some of these, the bruising has gone under the layers. We would have to remove this entire tip here. All of that would have to be removed to get rid of that. So do you sacrifice the stone, or you just live with it? If my flat lap was back, I would take it off. I am going to set it aside for when that comes back. When I turn it, I don't see it. So I'm hoping it's just the flash or the glare from the light. Might be bruising. That tip is definitely bruised. I've liked this piece all the way through. I like the shape of it and the little nose. And seems like there's still a little bruising on that nose. Okay, we're going to put it in some wash cycles, change out the ceramic media to polish media, and run it for 7 days in aluminum oxide polish. And it's the 8000 grit, or the 2 micron, because it gets it as a really nice polish. Yeah, it's bruised. Aww. That whole tip is bruised. See how much of the stone we would have to lose? That whole corner. Okay, we took 4 pieces out that we're going to hold for the flat lap machine. The rest are going back in the barrel. Wash cycles, well cushioned, by the way. We put a lot of ceramic media in there. Wash cycles, and then we'll see it next week. Okay, we'll be right back with our barrels that are in polish. We're going to do our yellow Aventurine a little different today. This is our polish barrel with borax added to it. We're actually going to dump it out instead of just doing one piece at a time like we've been doing. Ooh. Feels beautiful. Okay, let's try it off. Okay. Oh, look at that. Even the sun's starting to come out. Let's see a little bit of the water. Oh, beautiful. All right, I'm going to rinse these off, take them inside, and do an inspection. Yay! I think our repairs and everything are finally done on our yellow Aventurine. Be right back. And we're back with our yellow Aventurine that has been running in polish aluminum oxide, the 2 micron or 8,000 grit, for a week. And this has been an adventure with our yellow Aventurine. We have had it in, it went all the way to 1,000 and then had such severe bruising that we had to bust it back to 120, which is the medium stage in silicone carbide. And then we got it up to 500 and it needed more work. And then we busted it back to 120 again. And then it went back to 500 and then 1,000. And it's been a 1 week in each of these repair stages. And now it's finally, hopefully, finished. This is our polish media. It's looking good. I don't see any breaks, but I will go through it in a minute. Now, let's dry these little beauties off. Boy, I don't know what happened to my flash on this. It seems really dark to me today. Okay. Alright, let's dry them off because they were wet from getting rid of all that polish outside. And now we're dry. And I'm not seeing bruising. I am still seeing a little bit of polish slurry, but that's going to have to go in a burnish cycle. But wow, look at the shine. Watch the camera just shine off that surface. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Very, very happy. That one's dry. Oh, look at that. Look at the pattern. Isn't that just stunning? Fantastic polish. Oh, I'm calling the yellow Aventurine a success. It took us a while to get there, but we got there. See, all that bruising that was on the edges is gone. Oh, wow. I am so happy. So I'm going to give this a burnish cycle with just borax. I'm not going to put anything else in the barrel. And let it run for, I don't know, 10, 12 hours. And then let it air dry, and then we'll get some pictures, some final photographs. But I'm so pleased. So pleased. I am so glad we went and did all the extra steps of busting it back, you know, to get rid of all that bruising so that we don't have, wow, whew, so that we have a really nice finished project. Oh, I'm so, so happy. Looks like it's been a very productive week. These are completely dry. Look at that. Oh, that looks like a little problem there and there. The polish is gorgeous. Wow. Holy cow, this is beautiful. Okay, we're gonna go put these in a burnish cycle and then we'll get final photographs tomorrow after it's done. Busy week. Busy, busy week. Okay. We will see you guys next week. Be safe, be happy. After the burnish cycle and air dry, we have our yellow Aventurine all back together, all the bruised pieces and the regular ones. Such a gorgeous, gorgeous shine. Really pretty. Here's our favorite piece. Interesting shape. What an amazing shine.